First of all, thank you to the organizer for the invitation to the ECCC. We are a new agency, just established less than a year ago. I mean, we started recruitment only in 2023. We have a very important mission to reinforce the resilience of Europe from cyber attack, to improve the competitiveness of our companies, and to bring back to Europe investment in research. But let's go back to the topic of today, which is cyber skill. I'm happy that we are able to talk about cyber skill. I believe it's the most, or the single most complex issue that we face at the moment as European Union when we talk about cybersecurity, and particularly for 4 reasons. Cybersecurity, the skill gap, just looking at the number, we heard a few numbers this morning also, the minister mentioned, between 250,000 and 500,000 professionals are necessary for making our economy competitive, to face the challenge that we have of technical evolution, to face the cybersecurity risks. So 200 to 500,000, it's already a huge number, so this alone is a problem. The second issue is that the coordination that we need to have to achieve a common response to close the skill gap at European level is extremely complex. We will have to deal with the several ministries in different countries, how we harmonize the curriculum, how we create a common path for students, how we create a common framework for exchange of partners, exchange of works. So second big challenge is the complexity of the market. Third challenge is really the fact that the skill gap is a moving target. We have today 250 to 500,000, but as we close this gap, new gap will open in artificial intelligence, in quantum computing, in supercomputing, in 6G. So the issue of skill gap in technology, in new technology, is not a number that is fixed, and is not a number that can be closed in a quick way. The fourth dimension of the complexity is the dimension of time. We need the resources now, but everything that we do in terms of changing the education, changing career path, reskilling people will take years. So it's not easy to close the gap now for all these reasons that I mentioned. The ECCC has been already working for a while on this, with a number of working groups together with the member state. And let's say, what can we do as European Union to close the skill gap? So maybe we should change the approach. Instead of calling mine the skill gap, we should talk about mapping the skill gap. Just the fact that we have a window between 250 and 500,000 indicated we are not even sure about what are the actual gap that we have in the industry. So we have to somehow look at the problem from 2 angles. We need to look at the human side, so what can we do to train and to create professionals to close the gap, but also we need to look at the technology. What can we do to close the gap from a technological point of view? So let me address the two angles at the same time. The skill gap in the human side is the traditional path that we follow, and we have a number of initiatives being sponsored through the course of the year to ensure that we create partnership between industry and academia, to ensure that we have a common framework, the so-called European skill framework. We do cooperation with training company for reskilling. 22% of our budget went on reskilling and providing training. And today, by the way, one of the companies who received funds to us came and presented their projects, the results of the project. We also need to work on creating a common lexicon, a common reference of a career path, so that it's possible to move from one member state to another member state. But then there is also the other part, which is the part on technology. So what can we do to reduce the number of IT professionals necessary in the industry? And also on this front, the ECCC has invested massively in implementing cybersecurity by design, for example, in creating training platform online for easy training, in having easy, user-friendly technology for small and medium enterprise to detect threat, to prevent threat, and to respond with a limited number of people. Another area where we have been working is the promotion of more somehow inclusive professional. We are working with the Women for Cyber organization, which has more than 80,000 members across Europe, to promote the women in cyber, to promote the STEM studies for young women. This has been a very successful work so far, and working on competition, hackathon or competition with students. They run all across Europe. The last element, once we have cleared that the gap needs to be closed on two sides, the last element is the coordination. Who should be in charge of that? At the moment, this is something which is distributed between a number of agencies, ENISA, the Eccc, the European Commission, and then at member state level, a number of governments have their own initiative. The last part of the map that we need to do is to map what exactly has been, what are the offers that are available, where are the real gap, and matching the offer with the real gap through a coordinated action. So we have a working group which is focused on this. We want in the future to involve the National Coordination Center. We have 27 offices across Europe who are working to harmonize our response and to act as a terminal of the Eccc action in the member state. So what you will see in the future is more of the engagement of this National Coordination Center at local level to ensure that we come up with a common approach which will help us to address the problem from both sides. This is the beginning of a process. It's a long process, but we will see, we are in the middle of the digital decade, and we already see some results. By 2027, we should be able to present also how our policies, our efforts are changing the number of are closing the skill gap. So I will be here again in a couple of years, and we will present what we have done so far and see whether this is enough or what we need to do to correct for the future. Thank you very much.